The Galaxy S6 Edge Plus is like a Samsung greatest hits release. It has the sleek curved screen of the S6 Edge, but it also sports a bigger 5.7-inch display like the Galaxy Note phablet line. With its clean lines, glass back cover, and metal accents, the S6 Edge Plus is the sort of thing that would get attention pretty easily. The phone's Quad HD AMOLED display is also yet another gloriously bright and vibrant screen from Samsung. It's perfect for diving into photos and videos, but it also makes text look extra sharp. The Galaxy S6 Edge Plus is a speed demon as well, with a 2.1 GHz Samsung octa-core processor and 4 GB of RAM, at least 1 GB more than most other phones. It felt far more fluid at juggling around apps and playing large media files in other Android phones. The phone packs in a solid 16 megapixel rear camera and a 5 megapixel front-facing camera. There's also 4K video recording and optical image stabilization, which should help with shooting video while moving around, as well as low-light photography. Like all of Samsung's recent phones, photos and video from the S6 Edge Plus generally looked great, with bright colors that popped on its big screen. 4K video still feels like an overkill on a smartphone though. It's really tough to tell the difference between 1080p and 4K. This time around, Samsung also made the S6 Edge Plus's curved screen a little more useful than the last model. There's a new Apps Edge mode that lets you quickly access your favorite programs from the edge of the screen, and People Edge, which lets you access some of your frequent contacts. When the screen is off, you can swipe on the edge to get some basic information like the time and weather, as well as some notifications. Samsung also plans to let developers build apps for the Edge display eventually, though I'm not sure how many developers will spend time building something for such a niche device. So while the Edge screen is more useful than the previous models, its main draw is still mainly looks rather than function. Not surprisingly, the S6 Edge Plus also shares some of the flaws of the S6 Edge. The curved screen is still a bit awkward to hold, because it's basically fighting against the natural curve of your hand. And since it's a bigger phone, the problem is more pronounced. Samsung's Galaxy Note 5, which is pretty much the exact same phone hardware-wise, feels a lot more comfortable since it curves into your hand. The Galaxy S6 Edge Plus also doesn't come with a stylus, which has been pretty useful on the Note line. Compared to the iPhone 6 Plus, which has a slightly smaller screen, the S6 Edge Plus feels just as awkward, whereas the Note 5 feels noticeably easier to hold. You'll pay a slight premium over the Note 5 at most carriers for the S6 Edge Plus, $300 for the 32GB model, or $400 for the 64GB. Basically, the S6 Edge Plus is a prime example of what Samsung can do well: big phones with beautiful screens. But it also shows some of Samsung's weaknesses, mainly delivering a feature like a curved screen without making it very useful. If you can get over all of that, this phone is a solid choice if you're mainly going to be using your phone to watch and read content. Just don't be surprised if next year's model fixes plenty of its issues.